Okay, so it is getting worse. We have more and more fallout coming out of the FTX Binance situation. We're going to jump into that. I'm going to show you everything, as well as some additional breaking news that I've got to tell you about. So stick around for the entire video. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button below. Definitely drop a like. And also down below in the description, there's a link to my Twitter. Go give me a follow over on Twitter. I'm going to start doing a lot more on Twitter as well. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this. So right this second, crypto is at 790 billion. It is sunk below that 800 billion and it's down 13.7. We'd actually got earlier, about an hour or two ago, had gotten back up where we were only down about 6.5%. So this fall backwards is a direct result to that Binance has walked away from the deal to acquire FTX. And they're citing really three main reasons. They're citing the fact that they've looked at Binance has looked at FTX's books, didn't like what they see. They are fearful of the government, the U.S. government looking into FTX and their dealings, and thus, if Binance acquired FTX, they would have to deal with that as well. And third thing that that Binance is citing is that they're seeing, or their concern over the quote misuse of customers' funds, i.e., how FTX used depositors' crypto on their exchange. Did they deploy it? Did they invest in other areas? And thus the misuse. And so those are really the three main reasons that Binance is walking away from the deal. Now, also, there's another here who still has exposure to FTX. And this is something I've talked about all day in other videos. And as an example, there's one that I saw earlier today that Galaxy Digital has about a $70 million scenario here playing out, that they can't get those funds off of FTX. They just physically can't withdraw them because of halting withdrawals and all that. But there's also this is a narrative that I think is going to continue to gain steam. It's the who still has exposure. So they're talking here just briefly about Genesis. Maybe has a $7 million loss across all counterparties, including Alameda. Wintermute, market makers could have some exposure. Multicoin Capital, 10% of its assets under management. They're stuck on FTX, can't get them off. Amber Group, the market maker, has no exposure, but they have been an active participant on the FTX exchange, so they've probably got money locked up they can't get to. You're going to see more and more of this come out. But the real reason that the market's moving down right here is obviously going back to this main lead story that Binance is walking away from the deal, and the fear and the exposure of what is going to continue to develop out of this situation. And here's the thing I'll tell you, and this is, again, not don't shoot a messenger kind of thing. This is something we're going to continue to deal with for the next week or so. I think the continued fallout of what and who companies, organizations are either A, can't have money, who they can't get their money off the FTX exchange, or B, they have, they just have financial exposure to FTX, Alameda, whatever it may be. And then, beyond that, it's just the continued fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's running rampant right now. That's even becoming more pervasive of, are people are starting to question, are other large exchanges, are they at risk as well? And I think that's fundamentally another scenario that we will possibly start to see playing out. Now, we have a little bit of positive news here, and that positive news is that tomorrow, Thursday, we do have the CPI data report coming out. So, and we're expecting some good news there. So that might help shore up and maybe, move us a little bit back into proverbial greener pastures. It's too early to tell that. We're going to get that piece of information around, I think, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so New York time. So stay tuned. I'll be covering that as well. But right this second, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. The crypto crash of 2022. All right, that's what I got. I'll see you. There's the dogs barking, as always. See you. Bye.